working on project number 2, organizing his speech. The objectives for his speech are to select an appropriate outline which allows listeners to easily follow and understand his speech. Make your message clear with supporting material directly contributing to that message. Use appropriate transitions when moving from one idea to another, and to create a strong opening and conclusion. And he will be giving a 5 to 7 minute speech.
Thank you. As you heard, Mesfin is working on his second speech today. The title is The Nature of Words and Expressions in the English Language. Please help me welcome Mesfin.
Thank you. Thank you, Madam Toastmaster. Today I will be talking about the nature of words and expressions in the English language. Just as a starter, I want you to conjure in your mind this picture of a bunch of cavemen, hungry cavemen running after this big animal. They're hungry, the animal is running, and they have to catch it because they're hungry, they need food. And they finally cornered it, and when they were trying to do that, they were throwing words like da, do, and they don't have a concept of something dying. All they know is that in order to eat that animal, it has to stop moving. So when they were hitting it, with a stone and then whatever they can find in there, and they were da, 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 da. And then finally the animal, after so much being beaten, it just stopped moving. And so they started saying, "What da?" And then as a result, you have the word dead as a result of that. And whatever they can find, like a sharp stone or a sharp stick, and they were cutting with their teeth, they were whatever they needed to fill their stomach, they were eating the animal after it died, and they got enough, and they were really enjoying. They liked what they found out. It's really tasty, it's filling, and they started admiring what they got in there, and they were saying ha ta 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 and as a result, you have the word meat. They were full, they were just sitting down and enjoying the view, and then over there they saw these creatures like them. They walk on 2 feet, but they really don't look like them. They look like them, they may have hair on their chest. Those creatures don't have a hair on their chest, but actually they have a couple of things that move around on their chest, and they just could not take their eyes from this voluptuous figure. And what is that? They don't know how to talk, but they were admiring that. And their admiration went into expressions like, wow, 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 wow. And God heard that and said, He can foresee the trials and tribulations those amazing creatures are going to bring to the caveman. And God said, yes, wow, wow to you, caveman, wow, man. And then he got the word woman as a result of that. So that's how words started, from voices into words, from words into expressions. And somewhere along the line, somebody figured out we need to store these things down and start writing down what they mean. So you have what we currently call dictionary. As the first word to put this into practice, let me bring a word that I used in one of my grammarian role, rigmarole, if you remember. Rigmarole, it started sometimes in the 1700s in England. What happens is that the king and the queen have to visit their kingdom. They have to go, and when they were doing that, ahead of them there's always this group of people who has to collect tax. And at that time, they were collecting the tax. They have to write the name of the person, the farmer who's paying how much for what land and all that stuff. So they have this roll of parchment. They have to write the names of the people paying the tax. And the people who are carrying that, it is called rigman. So they have the roll, they are called rigman. For the taxpayer, it's just a waste of time. Instead of farming, they have to stand on line, a long line, waiting for the people to, for their turns. But it has to be done because it's a king's order, but for them it's a waste of time. And as a result of that, somewhere along the line, the combination of these words, rigman, the roll, and the whole activity, a useless and meaning, hassle, bothersome activity for nothing. You have the word rigmarole. I have another word. And we're all familiar with it. It's called restroom. And we use it at least more than once a day. It's a combination for two words, rest and room. For me, whoever came up with a combination of words, those words to mean what they are, really doesn't make sense. But because who goes to that room to rest? Actually, depending on the biological makeup of the person going to that room, it might not even be resting. It might be a lot of hard work going to that room. So in England, they actually don't use the word restroom. They use WC, water closet. On airplanes, you all have seen that. We don't have WC or restroom. We have lavatory. Okay? And right after 9/11, our wise men and women of Congress, for whatever reason, they got really mad at the French, and they wanted the word French not used again. Okay, so they come up with, instead of French fries, Patriot fries, if you remember. Instead of the French word, it's called something else. And if that was a success, my thinking is that instead of going to, so the French fries, they were called Patriot fries. That was the name, Patriot fries. So for me, if that was a success, instead of going to a restroom, we'll be going to Patriot rooms, doing a patriotic duty. I'm glad that didn't work out. Now, let's talk about another combination of words. Dead meat. Okay? Dead. We know what dead is. Something that doesn't move. It used to live, but doesn't live anymore. And then we have meat. And this goes back to my introduction of the whole caveman. So when I think of dead meat, for me it is oxymoron. Because if it is meat, it is dead. So I don't know how that word came up. And so, what I have been telling my children is that it's good to learn how to talk. It's good to know how to use the right words in the right occasion. And that's why I joined the Toastmasters Club. And so that I improve in my ability to speak. And now I'm done with my speak, I'm just going to go and sit on my French chair.